Hey guys, tonight's story is Bear's Loose Tooth, and it was written by Karma Wilson, and it was illustrated by Jane Chapman. Oops, sorry about that. Here's a nice landscape illustration of Bear. He's in his den. This is the dedication page. It says, "To Cuspadora, aka my mother, Shelley Marshall, love you," and it says caramel corn, so apparently that's what her mom calls her, the author. And then the illustrator said, "For Levi." This is the title page. And then here's our story. From a cave in the forest came a munch, munch, crunch, as Bear and his friends all nibbled on their lunch. Bear savored every bite. He gulped and he gobbled. Then, there in his mouth, something wiggled, and it wobbled. As Bear nibbled food, something moved when he chewed. It was Bear's loose tooth. Bear pointed in his mouth and he said, "Oh dear, my tooth feels funny. It's the one right here." Bear frowned and he worried. Tears welled in his eyes. "But how will I eat if my tooth says goodbye?" Hare said, "Open wide." Then he looked inside and saw Bear's loose tooth. You see him looking in his mouth. Come on, phone, focus. I'm not sure which tooth it is. You can't really tell. Mouse squeaked, "Don't fret, don't fuss. Look, see? A new tooth will grow where the old used to be." "We'll help," said Wren. "I know what to do. It's out with the old and in with the new." Wren perched on Bear's lip, and he got a good grip on Bear's loose tooth. So there's Wren, the little bird here, and he's trying to pull that tooth out. Oh my goodness. Wren pulled on the tooth with all of his might. "Is it out?" asked Bear, but it stayed stuck tight. "I'm a bit too small for the job," said Wren, "so I will grab the tooth." But the tooth stayed in. Badger said, "I'll try," and he gave a big pry on Bear's loose tooth. So here's Badger, and Rabbit's helping him, and Crow is helping him. But I believe that tooth isn't going anywhere. So now what's happening? It says they all took a turn, but the tooth wouldn't budge. Then, whoops, Bear used his tongue and he gave a little nudge. His tooth wiggled to and fro. Then what do you know? What do you think's going to happen? Think his tooth's going to come flying out? So here he is. See that tooth there? Whoops, my phone unfocused there. That little tooth right there, that's the one that's real wiggly and loose. Bear's tooth fell out. And here's his tooth right here in the grass. He looks a little bit amazed if you see his eyes. Sorry about that kind of glare. But he's like, oh my goodness, there's my tooth. Bear danced a big dance. Bear grinned a big grin. Bear held up his tooth and he showed all of his friends. Bear looks super duper happy, doesn't he? And all of his friends look happy too. Bear looked in the mirror and he laughed at his smile. A new tooth would come, but it might take a while. That night in bed, right next to his head, lay Bear's loose tooth. So you see he put his tooth on that little plate right there. Who do you think's going to come see him? Look at this. Look at this little glittery fairy dust looking stuff. While he slept and he snored, a fairy fluttered in, and she left blueberries where Bear's tooth had been. Ooh, so like when you lose a tooth and the tooth fairy brings you money, instead of Bear getting money, because Bear doesn't need money, he lives in the forest, she, the tooth fairy, left him blueberries, something he can eat. Sometimes I might like to have something to eat over money myself. He woke in the morning and found a sweet treat. Bear's friends came for breakfast. They sat down to eat. Bear gulped and he gobbled, and he felt something wobble. Oh, Lord have Moses, what in the world do you think might be happening now? Bear's loose tooth. Oh no. You think he has another loose tooth? My gracious. He just can't catch a break, can he?